What's up, mateys? Welcome to the Mark Lesko Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Rudd, and this is Pirate Central. So for my first pitch topic today, I was going to go in the angle of the manager, Don Kelly. Is he the best skipper that the Pirates have had in recent memory? Because I'd like to think that the best manager was probably either Jim Leland, the manager for, is it Tanner? That was the 70s. Again, I would like to just be so confident, say that without hesitation. Chuck Tanner, yeah, I was going to say, I knew that name was going to be right. No, Chuck Tanner was the big name for the 70s, and they went to a lot of championships. I mean, Danny Murtaugh. But yeah, like the obvious thing, like we have Clint Hurdle, being a part of those amazing years with the playoff years, so many successful winning seasons and great baseball and competitive, smart, small ball stuff. Like it was great to witness it. I very much appreciated how that man galvanized that entire city and got that team to look like they did. That's the thing. We acquired so many players in his era, and it just seemed like we hit with everyone because he was the coach. He was the manager, the guy that was in charge, and he knew how to get these guys to be men, to be their positions, and he just had that great style of coaching. I very much appreciated that from Clint. And of course, you had Derek Shelton, who basically was as useful as a, I don't know, like I think that the dodgeball movie is probably the best way to say it, but I'll leave it to that. But it's just that's what it was. He just did not do his role. He was a hitting coach, and we couldn't hit. Like I can't believe that these guys could not get any kind of tutelage from that, but they went off him, and here we have Don Kelly. This current manager, I mean, so far DK has gotten my vote. I mean, I don't see any way you can't say that this guy has not been pretty fun to watch. I mean, you're talking maybe 2 or 3 decisions, truly, 2 or 3 in his, 25, 30 games he has coached so far as a manager. I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. So in the end, it just seems like this is a pretty darn good start for your career. I mean, you go into this situation, I think we were 12-27 at the time when he took over, and you watch how certain guys respond. Like, with positions, I feel like there's a level of confidence that you have to have. Like if you're a first baseman, and you're over there, you don't have to have as much swag and as much use for your position. Like you got to know how to pick the ball. You got to know how to be prepared for whatever infielders throw at you. So you got to have that kind of confidence with you. I mean, like when you're a batter, you have to know, how to hold that stance and get kind of like a good mentality about yourself to know how to hit the ball. But like, again, with each guy on the field, the shortstop has to have the most swag, in my opinion. And then maybe the second would be third base and then center field. Like you look at certain positions where it's like how much ground do they have to cover and what they've got to be able to handle. And then you just see these spectacular picks and dives and throwovers and like across the body and field, like spectacular. I mean, it's amazing how some of these guys have to carry themselves. And a manager like Don Kelly, he's been a player. He was once a guy. So, I mean, he knows what these players need and what they need to hear. And I very much appreciate everything he has given us so far. I mean, look at what I have found from this video. I mean, this is kind of gives you an implication right here. I mean,
considering what happened with O'Neill earlier this week, how nice was it to see him put 2 in the seats today?
Great. And to be able to stick with it. He hit the home run, had a couple tough at-bats, went after a ball pretty hard, almost made a great play in the outfield, and then to get another one later, he needs to believe in himself, going up there. He's a really good player, really athletic player, and believe in himself when you're down, because it's hard, man. And he's been working at it, and I think that this past week has been a good learning experience for him.
That was the largest run differential in a 3-game series by the Pirates since 1975. I mean, what was it? How nice was it to see the offense really complement and take some pressure off what's been consistent pitching all year?
Yeah, no doubt. And, started off with Mitch, hadn't gotten much run support, and, to continue that throughout the series against a really, really good team over there. The pitching was great. The defense was great. I mean, two plays that stuck out to me, Triolo, not great day at the plate today, but I don't know what it was at the time, 8-1, 10-1, and for him to make that play to save a run and end the inning and give Carm a chance to keep on going. And then Canario didn't start the game, comes in and makes a heck of a play in right field. Maybe overlooked a little bit, but those are the little things that add up over the course of the season when, if that ball gets through, Triolo doesn't make the play, maybe things spiral a little bit, but he ended the inning with a great play. And, it's the little things like that make a big difference.
Speaking of making a difference, how much of a difference have you seen in this team, given how many one-run games you've managed, to be able to play in games like this? How much have you seen them maybe get loose, whether it's on the mound or at the plate? That you can see a difference in the way these guys are approaching the game, that there's not so much pressure on them.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it'd be awesome if we could get up like that all the time, but it's been fun playing in the one-run games too. You feel that pressure, and that's the way, as we continue to grow, continue to get better, continue to earn that respect that we talked about. We're going to play in a lot of those close games. We have really good pitching, and, to see the offense come around is great, but to get the experience playing in those one-run games too is a great experience for us. If we're taking a vote, I think we vote for the larger margin wins, but, the close games are fun too.
Just it being a 4-hit game for Henry.
Yeah, so I very much appreciate when guys like that know exactly what they're talking about. And again, when he pointed out with the Triolo thing, that right there is a great thing for a manager to do. We know as players, how their production has not been shown here, but they also point out what they've been doing good. That right there, little things like that have really shown how important it is for a guy like Don Kelly to be the manager of this particular team. They're scrappy. They're a team that could very well get going. Watching what they did this weekend was so important to see, because again, they needed to show they could do it. But again, making important decisions, that all comes down to what the manager is going to give us. And I cannot thank him enough for giving us pretty much the exact opposite of what we've been seeing from the last several years. I mean, it's definitely too early to tell, but I'd like to think this guy is right now on a really good path for them to do something spectacular. So I very much appreciate Don Kelly, and I very much want him to be the manager for the foreseeable future. I mean, how could you not, with how he has been really carrying himself? So that is my first pitch talk. Let's do with the seventh inning stretch, and let's go into the upcoming series against the St. Louis Cardinals, and then we were going to be at Seattle. Of course, with Cardinals, they've been a very, very good team so far this year. Big surprise. They haven't done a thing in the offseason, and yet they are second in the division of the NL Central. Just spectacular hitting all around. They've just been doing a lot of things right. They've been on a huge tear. I know they just swept I think they swept the Guardians. I know they beat them yesterday 7-0, just totally destroyed them completely. And I know in this particular series, I believe we have I know Sonny Gray pitches at one point in time in this series. But with the schedule you have, again, with the Cardinals, we have beaten them in a series so far this season. That's one of the teams we have actually been pretty good with so far. So, I mean, you have players, or you have this kind of setup in the standings. I mean, it's definitely important to see what they've got coming, but I'm bringing up the schedule right now. I'll just wait for that to load. But yeah, like, so yeah, a team like St. Louis, when they're got a great system going right now with the season, yeah, it's pretty impressive what they have accomplished so far this year. Again, when I get these pitching matchups up, I very much always like to use this as a visual aid to see who is going to do what this coming. Yeah, so here it is. Just bring this up here. So yeah, you got Freddie or Fried. Yeah, Fried. Yeah, I got Fried against Andrew Haney. I mean, this is probably one of the worst stretches this guy's had all season long. It's just unbelievable what has gone down. I mean, overall, this whole season, he has been pretty solid. And then these back-to-back bad outings, when he went up against the Brewers, I mean, he got completely rocked. I mean, it wasn't good. So again, you're coming into the Cardinals, or the St. Louis is coming into Pittsburgh. I'd like to think you're going to have a better chance for something to happen for the next chance. So hopefully that is the case for him. And then you have Palente against Paul Skeens. I mean, yeah, we were so close to getting a good matchup between Skeens and Gray. But yeah, like, if we could give him the run support that they got this weekend, I mean, Paul Skeens would have the greatest record right now in baseball. I mean, I know Tariq Skubal is a fantastic pitcher. I mean, the best pitcher in the baseball. I mean, the only thing I would say that outside of his record with Skeens against Skubal, I mean, the only thing I will give Skubal is he doesn't walk almost anybody, but Paul does. So it stinks that, you have that kind of setup, but that you got to go out every outing and you got to try to give it your best. So, I mean, I think that this, again, Paul's got an okay lineup against everybody else, but he has yet, I think, to beat the Cardinals. I think that's the real thing. It's like, so can we actually give him his first victory against this team? Let's hope that's the case. And I know Gray is taking on Keller. That's a good matchup, actually. I mean, if it's not Skeens, I mean, obviously I would like Mitch Keller to have another chance to continue to down that ERA and get another victory. So, yeah, that's going to be an absolutely phenomenal series to watch. So, I feel like we've got ourselves a pretty darn good series coming up with the Cardinals for sure. Now, with Seattle, that's another question. I don't know what their schedule or their pitching rotation will be for that series, but I know Kirby is still a Mariner. I know that Castillo is still a Mariner. We might face them. And they're pretty decent pitchers. Maybe not as elite as they were several years ago, but they've got a pretty scrappy team. Like the Mariners, they can be kind of like us, but they're more consistent with being better than not. So do they have a chance to go to the West Coast and maybe take advantage of maybe a lack thereof pitching? I don't know. I know that we've got ourselves the most interesting situation, and like, could we have a surge? Like, this is what we need to see, though. We need to see them have some sort of run and success. And again, I haven't done it yet this whole season, but maybe I will say I am going to predict a winning record again with this these two matchups. I feel like maybe we can win the series against St. Louis and win the series against Seattle. So I would like to think we could take 2 out of 3 from both of these teams. And I'll be bold and I will say that they will have another 4-2 season, or a 4-2 record. And that would then put them, would that make it 41 and 52? No. 39 and 52. So that would put them at 13 games under 500. Yeah, it could still keep you in the conversation of maybe not being sellers at the deadline. I mean, the trade deadline is still a month away. And in order for this to not be a question, we would probably have to go off on a huge run. So it's possible. And again, with that offense, it's very possible, but can they continue that? It's definitely, we caught the Mets at the time where their rotation wasn't as good as it could be, and their hitting has really just slumped. So, I mean, I'm hoping this isn't just a one-time thing. I'd like to think that with all the pitching that they have put out and the lack thereof of all the hitting, it's like finally they can start doing that. And I think this is going to be the case. So there is my look at for this upcoming series. To end it with the closer, I feel like what you're looking at the landscape right now with the current leaders, I know it's the Cubs in first for our division. The Dodgers obviously have the lead in the West. And, yeah, the Phillies are currently 1.5 games ahead of the Mets. So when you look at a team like Pittsburgh and look at this, we swept the best team in baseball, and I think we have yet to win a series against the Cubs. I know we've played them twice, and I think we've lost both series. But, yeah, I mean, you got to start looking at, like, teams. I think we have lost. We've won a game against the Dodgers. I know we were 1-2 when we went out to the West Coast. So, I mean, we won a game in Los Angeles. So we can beat the Dodgers. It's just really a question of putting yourself in the best situation. I mean, the Mets have a great system. They have great hitters, and we were able to take care of business. Like, Keller showed up, and Burrows really showed up. And who was the other guy on Saturday? It was supposed to be Falter, but then they went with Ashcraft. And yeah, everybody really contributed in that game. That bullpen game was fantastic to see that. Everyone's doing great. So far, this has been a really good couple of days, and I really hope that continues as the season goes on. So, I mean, we've got a lot of ball to still play. So with a guy like Don Kelly, like, to start it off and seeing the resurge of some of these players, like, it's nice and refreshing to see that there are positives could be coming. So you just got to hold on, guys. Hopefully it gets better. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. And I will see you guys for the next one. And until then, let's go Bucks.